If you feel unconfident in what you create, I have really good news for you. You can actually change that. Whether you are drawing or painting, or whether you are crafting handmade items, or whatever else, it is possible to grow your creative confidence. As somebody who has done arts and crafts my whole life, I have had many seasons of losing confidence in my creativity for one reason or another. So today I have 4 tips for you that I learned through personal experience. I'm hoping that just by telling them to you today, you can learn them and you will not have to go through the same stuff that I did in learning to be more confident in my creativity, and your confidence can just get better, you know? The first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that fear and confidence can coexist. Just because you're feeling afraid of doing something does not mean that you completely lack confidence in it. So the dictionary definition of confidence, because we love dictionary definitions here, is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, a firm trust. So if you have a firm trust or the belief that you can rely on something, how can you also be afraid? This seems like a paradox. So I would like to posit to you that confidence has degrees. If you have 0% confidence, you have no trust that things are going to work out. 0% trust. And all that is left is fear. That's all that can be left. 100% confidence means that you absolutely, for sure, have trust and the belief that you can rely on something. And if you have 100% trust, there's not any room for fear. You know it is absolutely going to happen. And if you're anywhere in the middle, you know, if you're like 52%, right? You can be you're like, I'm pretty confident, but I've still got doubts. It's a maybe. It's a maybe for me. A good example of this is my first time going rock climbing. I was absolutely terrified. And I really didn't know if I could trust the equipment. I mean, mentally, I knew that if the rope was definitely going to snap and make me plummet to my doom, they probably wouldn't let me use the rope, because then they'd have to deal with a lawsuit, and that wouldn't be fun for them either. But I was still scared. The first many times that I tried to climb the walls at a specific rock climbing gym, I made it like 4 feet in the air, and then I went, nope, I don't have enough confidence in the rope or the harness to go any higher than this. But the more failures I had, actually, the more times that I tried to go up on the wall and then went, ooh, no, I'm scared. I'm not confident enough in this to keep going. The more I kind of started to realize that, like, I can trust the rope. The rope is not snapping. It's slowly and safely lowering me to the ground every single time. So maybe I can go a little bit higher. So my confidence got just a tad higher, and my fear got just a tad smaller. And by the end of that night, I was able to climb all the way up to the top of a rock wall for the first time in my life. So through repetition, I gained enough confidence that I could make it up to the top. Writer Cal Newport has said that confidence isn't something that you find, it's something that you build. So you try something, you find yourself capable, and you grow your confidence. Every single time that you find yourself capable, it's like casting a vote into the yes, I can do this confidence box. And the more votes you have, the higher your confidence becomes. But because I think confidence has degrees, right? There's sort of a sliding scale of confidence versus fear. I think that if you yearn, right, to learn how to make things with your hands, you yearn to know how to paint, you yearn to know how to crochet, but you're really scared, that's okay. You just need to have like 1% confidence in order to start. If you have just even the tiniest little bit of like, maybe this might be okay, and you just start, you have now started the process of showing yourself that you can be capable of something and building that confidence up even higher. So you can still be scared. You can still start scared, My second lesson is to embrace your skill level. So if confidence is built by finding yourself capable, then if you find yourself uncapable, doesn't that mean that that will make you more unconfident? It definitely could if you don't have the right mindset about it. And I actually have another video about that that I will link in the end of this video. For the point of this video, however, there is a very specific tip that I want to give you, which is that you need to embrace your skill level. What this means is you're kind of mitigating the risk of failure by understanding what your current capabilities actually are. For instance, I worked as a graphic designer for over 13 years, but once I started doing more fine arts oriented stuff again, I realized that I had some deficits. I was struggling really hard with concepts that I thought I knew. But I started taking classes at a site called svslearn.com, which is for specifically like illustration, a lot of children's book illustration. One of their first lessons is sort of an overall overview of drawing. And part of that includes a self-assessment that you can do where you can figure out what your skill level is at drawing so that you know what the next steps are that you need to take. So I took this assessment and I thought, well, you know, I've been a professional at this for almost 2 decades now, if I count the fact that I started professionally illustrating when I was 17. I've been drawing for a long time. So I thought, oh yeah, I pretty much know, you know, most of the stuff I need to know. I just need them to help me get rid of this creative block or whatever it is that's going on. And the assessment did not say that I was professional level. It said that I was still a student level. An advanced student, to be fair, but still a student level. Me, moi. No. So that was a pretty big ego hit for me. And if I'd let my ego get in the way, I might have said, well, they don't know what they're talking about, whatever. But I really saw the sense in what that assessment was telling me. And I did the next steps that they recommended. I went back and I relearned things that I thought I knew and found out that I was missing a lot of information that I really needed to know in order to be a better drawer. But because I now recognized my skill level, where I actually was, and not just where my ego was telling me where I was able to learn things at that level and then grow. So if you fail at doing an art or a craft that you're interested in, really, really think about what skill level you actually are and pick projects that are centered in that skill level and that will slowly help you increase that skill level. And there's no shame in being at a beginner level of something, even if you've been working on that craft for years. That's okay. It's still very good. It's especially good for you actually to recognize what your skill level is so that if you want to learn more, you know what the next steps need to be. If you're a total beginner at crafting, or even if you're not and you just like really cute holiday decor, I have something exciting to share. I'm starting to create craft kits that you can print off at home and then you can assemble yourself. My goal with these is to make them accessible for a wide variety of skill levels of different crafters. But also to make them really pretty. I want these to be things that you actually feel proud to display in your home. So I'm using all of my powers of illustration and design to make these into really cute objects that you can decorate your house with. I've already made a bunch. I'm probably gonna make a bunch more because I really like them. It's a good thing because I made them. I'd better like them. And I hope you like them too. So you can download those at studiohana.com/shop and get crafting right now. You can do it right now. All right, lesson 3 is quality in, quality out. Once you embrace your skill level, you're gonna have to find resources and lessons and things to help you learn that are at that skill level. But they also need to be good resources and also resources that just work with the way that your brain learns and processes things. Just because you're struggling at learning to make something does not mean that you are incapable of making that thing. It could just be that the resource that you're using does not match your learning style, or it might just be a bad resource. Not all educational resources are of equal quality. When I first tried to start learning crochet, I had a book, and I can't really remember what the quality of the book was because it's been a very long time, but it was a book. And so even if the instructional quality was pretty high, doing a craft like crochet, where a lot of it relies on movement and understanding how that movement works, only learning from images and writing was really difficult for me. The only way that I could even begin to understand how crochet worked was I had to go on YouTube and I had to find moving videos of somebody crocheting. It still took years for me to feel like I was even at an intermediate level of crochet, but it got me started and definitely worked better than the book. But if I had assumed that my struggles learning how to crochet were because I was just a horrible crocheter and could never possibly learn how to do this incredibly complicated craft, and I just didn't have enough talent to learn crochet, then I would have done myself a huge disservice, because it wasn't that I couldn't learn, it was that the resource that I was using of the book was not matching my learning style. I needed to go find something else in the video in order to actually finally learn how basic crochet worked. So you cannot make good quality work if you're learning from bad resources. As an aside, I wanted to mention that the opposite of this can also be true. You could have a really good resource, but your ego is getting in the way of allowing you to learn, because maybe you think, oh, I know better than the teacher about this or whatever. I could have been one of those people if I had allowed my ego to get in the way of my drawing practice. Then I would not have learned all of the amazingly wonderful things that I learned. You know what I just realized is that I meant to have this lamp on. Would you look at that? I meant to have that lamp on the whole time and I didn't. I'm leaving things like this in the video because I need you to understand how many mistakes people make all the time and probably don't put in the video. I could have just restarted. I could have turned that lamp on and started filming again, but I can't be bothered to do that. It doesn't actually matter. It just looks nicer with the lamp. You know what I mean? Lesson number 4 is just say thank you. If you are like me when I was a teenager, if you make something and then somebody comes along and says, oh, I really like that, it's so tempting to explain to that person that, no, it's actually not that good. Other people are better at this. Oh, I'm still really new at this. Oh, no, it's not good. It's not any good. Instead of doing all that, just say thank you. Thank you is a neutral statement. You are just acknowledging that the person has paid you a compliment, which is very nice of them to have done. You are not saying that your work is bad, which I think will only just make you less confident. But saying thank you is also not being self-aggrandizing either. You're not being like, oh, thank you, I know, I'm just amazing. You know what I mean? Like, saying thank you, it's a neutral statement. And there's kind of 2 reasons for this. If you start pointing out that your work actually is not that great, you're kind of insulting the person who just told you that it was great. Either you're saying that they're lying to you, or you're saying that they're an idiot and that they don't know better and that you need to correct them, right? Just say thank you. Now, it is good to be aware, right, of the flaws in your work, because being aware of the flaws allows you to know what you need to do to improve and then improve and get better. But if you're only ever looking at the flaws and you are only ever telling people about how flawed your work is, then the flaws are all you're ever going to be able to see. And that can cause your confidence to take a really bad hit, and that may eventually lead to you just quitting altogether. Just say thank you. Remember when I mentioned earlier that failure can actually be useful? I have that video right here on the screen. You should go watch that one next. And if you found anything useful, please subscribe and give me a little confidence boost while you're at it. Which tip by the way, was the one that you needed to hear the most. I would like to know which one resonated most with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.